In this little tutorial, we're going to look into a specific requirement with Excel output. So in here, there's my Excel document. So let me quickly run my report. So it's a very simple report created in Application Studio, but you could also use Infosys, of course. So there's my report. And I want to rotate those elements. I want to rotate those three elements. So I want to go there. I want to go rotate. I want to, of course, change the size. I want, of course, center it. And that's what I want to achieve in WebFOCUS output directly. As those formattings are not existing, I could use a very simple technique in here. So actually what I do is I'm using an Excel template. So here's my Excel template. We can go in here. And I added some very simple Visual Basic code in here in the Excel document. So in here, you see there's a macro that runs on Workbook Open. It's selecting that text element in here, just picking the range here from A1 to Z1 on worksheet sheet 1. And then it's taking that text, rotating it by 90 degrees, centering it horizontally, centering it vertically, and then it's changing the height of the column. The height of the row, of course, to a certain value. Let's set it to 90. And that's my simple macro. So I can close this element. I'm going to put the code into my video description. So there's my element. So let me save that element. So let me save that thing. Important thing, it has to be saved. So if you save it, you can put it into your base-up folder, for example. I called it rotate.xlsm because it's macro enabled. That's important. It has to be macro enabled. Save it in there, keep it. So override it. It's in there. So there's my rotate xlsm. And now I'm going to use that one. So the only thing I need to change is I go back to the Home tab in here. So sorry, go to the Format tab, go to Excel. And now instead of using pure Excel, I'm going to change that one to select the template. If the template resides in that folder, I can now select my rotate.xm. No, I'm never going to get that extension right. So I'm selecting my rotate. There it is. So taking the rotate. So syntax is straightforward. So it just added that little plugin here. That's an easy way to do macro magic with WebFOCUS. So in here, it's getting me a security warning. I enable it, and it's picking up all those formatting. You can use other Excel macros in the same way. So whatever you want to do with macro, that's a very simple way to extend Excel and WebFOCUS with macro to do any kind of magic to your data. In case if you don't like that information in here, we can format most of the things in WebFOCUS. So it's going to be straightforward. So I'm going to go to Format, go to the Excel format. So we can do a lot of the things in here to format those elements. I can also repeat my sort value to get me to a better Excel. So run it again. And there we are with an Excel document using functions that are not supposed to be supported by WebFOCUS out of the box. So you could do whatever you want to, use a macro and Excel templates to get to more complex and extended type of elements. Again, keep in mind, if you build your macro, WebFOCUS is going to replace sheet 1 by its own document. So make sure if you go to code, don't put the macro on sheet 1. Always put the macro on this workbook, on the document itself. Don't put it into the sheet. That's really important. But that's it. Have fun playing around with Excel and WebFOCUS.